This is how many bananas I have eaten on average for the last 6 years, and in the end of the video I'm also going to show you guys me eating all those bananas. But first, let's get into some of the benefits that I have experienced from eating this much banana, this much potassium, this much sugar. Alright, first of all, I want to talk about how amazing you feel when you start eating bananas every day. Ripe bananas, that is, because some people actually think that eating bananas causes either diarrhea or constipation. But I can honestly say from my own experience and from having talked with many other banana lovers that your digestion becomes so good. And whenever I don't have my bananas around, my digestion is not as optimal. My bowel movements are not as consistent, not as perfect as when I have my bananas on a daily basis. So that is the very first biggest benefit, for sure, the amazing digestion that you get. And many people aren't just concerned about the digestion and the constipation or diarrhea that you could get from bananas, but they're also concerned about the blood sugar and diabetes. So if I have eaten so many bananas, why have I not gotten diabetic? And that's a pretty easy one to answer. So first of all, the most important thing here to understand is the glycemic index. And bananas have a glycemic index of 42 to 62, which isn't very high. And because they have so much fiber and water that they come with, yes, they do have sugar, but they also have a lot of fiber and water. So in that whole package, you aren't actually spiking your blood sugar too much when you eat bananas. And then on top of that, I'm combining that with eating a lower fat diet. So I don't really eat that much fat on a daily basis. I still get enough fat that I need to function optimally, but not more than I need. So when your system is clogged up with fat, then the sugar cannot enter the cell anymore. And what's going to happen is that, yes, then your blood sugar is going to be spiked whenever you consume sugar. But if you combine it with a low-fat diet, not only are you going to have more energy because you are going to have stable blood sugar levels because these huge spikes aren't going to happen whenever you consume sugar, but you're also just going to feel so fueled up because your cells are actually not starved of sugar, which is what every cell in the body runs on, but they have enough fuel to go through the day. And then I also want to talk about the fact that I rarely eat bananas or dates on their own, but I typically combine these sweeter fruits with other fruits. So for example, I love my banana berry smoothie. It rarely happens that I eat a banana just straight from the peel. Sometimes I put a whole banana in my smoothie bowl, but typically I just blend all the bananas together with some frozen fruit, and that makes it so much more enjoyable. So if you still want to get these optimal bowel movements and get your bananas in, just find an exciting meal that you like your bananas with. So either like a nice smoothie, or some people like to dehydrate their bananas and make banana dongs. Dried bananas definitely also really tasty because they have like such a condensed, like almost candy-like flavor. Dip that into some nice sauce, like a berry jam or something nice, and it almost tastes like pancakes. So there are so many ways. You don't have to eat them just straight from the peel in a boring way, but you can actually make it fun, make it creative and exciting. Another common concern people have around eating bananas is that you would get potassium overdose, like not just one, but if you eat as many as I am, for example. And I want to bust that myth right off the bat, because you would actually have to eat more than 50 bananas in one sitting in order to get a potassium overdose. And I mean, I have actually eaten, I think, 37 bananas in one day one time, which was pretty crazy, but it was actually quite enjoyable. I made lots of banana ice cream and banana smoothies, but I have never been able to eat more than 50 bananas in one sitting. Like the 37 I ate spread out over the entire day, and nowadays I wouldn't really do that anymore. It was really just an experiment. I like eating other foods than bananas too. And even if you did have potassium overdose from eating too many bananas, which virtually is not possible, but even if you did, your body would easily be able to eliminate the excess potassium from the system through your liver and kidneys. It does that every day with so many other things that it consumes and doesn't want to have in there. So really there's no need to worry about bananas. And Then the last concern that people have about eating, a decent amount of bananas like I am, is weight gain. And personally, that also brings me now to the benefits that I have experienced from eating so many bananas, other than the amazing digestion. And that is actually I lost weight. Because yes, okay, one banana has 100 calories and it has a lot of sugar, which some people are afraid of will make them gain weight, which I do understand completely. But I had so much energy all of a sudden that I just could not help but start moving and start getting into exercises. I actually started getting creative and finding different ways that I could move my body that would make it exciting for me to exert all that energy that I would all of a sudden have, because all the cells in my body would feel so fueled up. They would feel like buzzing, like let's go. And I started discovering running again, which is something I used to do in my teenage years, but stopped feeling excited about when I got into keto because my body didn't have the energy anymore to move. So I stopped running actually many years ago. And once I got into bananas again, I just couldn't help but start going out for runs, bike rides. I got myself a road bike to go cycling a lot, especially in the summertime. And also I got into tennis recently. I started dancing every day just by myself to some nice music, strength training with resistance bands, and so many other sports that naturally came into my life because I had such a huge desire to move. And that's really what's going to help you lose weight. It's not really just like focusing so much on the diet, but it's just you're moving so much, you're exerting your body the way it's meant to be exerted, and that way the fat is just going to shred off effortlessly, and you aren't even like feeling like you're doing anything special to get there. It literally just happens. And that's what ended up happening for me over the years. It wasn't just some quick fix that fixed all my problems in 30 days. It was something that I had to be really consistent with, but it was very easy to be consistent with this because it was so enjoyable. So definitely first huge benefit apart from the amazing digestion is the weight loss that has happened over time. The second benefit was that I cured my binge eating problems. I wouldn't really call it a disorder, but it was just something that I've really struggled with in the past. I would often sit in the kitchen at night for several hours, like eating as much as I could literally fit physically into my body, which you would be surprised how much fits in there when you really like want to just escape yourself and you feel so undercarb, so underfueled from so much yo-yo dieting, so much fasting, restriction, so many concepts in your head, what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat. And once I just started having my banana smoothie every single day in the first half of the day, usually, I would be fueled up. I would be really satiated. And that also brings me to the next point. When you eat bananas on a regular basis, or when you have like a good banana meal, you experience a new level of satiation that I didn't even know existed before I got into fruit. Like, you feel so perfectly full. You don't feel stuffed, but you feel like you have all the energy you need to get going, get things done, to move or use your brain in whatever you're doing. And yeah, you just feel this really nice sense of satiation. And then the fourth one is that I also started to really improve my fitness very quickly. So when I was still eating a meat diet, I would go to the weightlifting room every single week, and I would have the muscle ache of my life every single day after that. Like, all my muscles would hurt. It would literally be painful to walk. And now I don't have that anymore because my body recovers so well after every workout. I can just get going again the next day because the bananas have so many nutrients, so much magnesium, and most importantly, they don't clog our muscles up with things that it then needs to get rid of on top of the toxins that build up when we exert our body from a workout. So in that sense, it's really nice to get the banana meals in and improve your performance in fitness and move up very quickly, especially like if you're eating very much processed foods. Your body needs to deal with all these things that are not meant to go into our system. And then what does it do? It will focus on all these foods and eliminating the toxins from all these foods on the digestive processes, so it doesn't have as much capacity anymore to heal the little like micro things that happen when you work out. Like, you basically, in a way, you are physically damaging your body in a way when you're doing a workout, like, and then you recover and then you become stronger from that. And the body can do that much more efficiently when you lighten the digestive load. So that's another big benefit I have experienced from eating so many bananas. And then the last benefit that I want to share in this video is my mood improvements. So bananas are naturally high in vitamin B6 and tryptophan, and these two compounds help to create a release of serotonin inside the body. And when that release of serotonin, the happy hormone, happens in the body, then we start feeling more joyful. And on top of that, the moments when I usually don't have that good of a mood is usually when I'm undercarved, when I haven't really had anything to eat in a very long time. You know that hangry feeling, right? But when you eat bananas consistently, that just doesn't really happen that much anymore because they satiate you on such a deep level. I think I had 5 bananas 3 hours ago, and I'm still really, really satiated from that meal. I ate it together with some apples and, berries. But generally, when you eat bananas on a regular basis, you feel so much more satiated and carved up, and that hangry feeling doesn't really occur that much anymore because you always have fuel in the tank, so it's harder to get hangry. So that's a really, really big one, and I think also one of my favorite benefits is, just the brightened mind and mood that comes with eating so many bananas. I ate 3 bananas, and the rest I'm gonna blend into a little raspberry smoothie. Usually if the banana quality is good, I can eat more than 3, but when they are like that, they're nice. I enjoy it, but I definitely prefer making a little smoothie. So let's go. That was the video. If you enjoyed it, then you will for sure also love the interview that I did with the one and only Freely, the banana girl. We're talking about weight loss. We're talking about how to have a healthy, well-functioning metabolism. So if you're interested in that video, click here and I'll maybe see you there. Bye.